Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Triple N Media Microsoft Flight Sim 2020. In this presentation, we're going to focus on how to speed up the sim rate or how to slow down the sim rate. So let us begin with a flight plan and get this airborne and maintain it at cruise speed. Then I'm going to show you how to increase or decrease the sim rate. In the previous video, I have shown how to set the keyboard shortcuts for increasing the sim speed or decreasing the sim speed. So please look at that video before you watch this one if you decide to implement the keyboard shortcut in your Microsoft Sim. So let us begin with the flight plan and get this off the ground quickly. I am from Houston, Texas, so I'm going to select a couple of places here. We take a George Bush Intercontinental. Okay, let's see. George Bush Intercontinental is fine as the arrival place. KSGR, my hometown, Sugarland Regional Airport. Okay, so we have a flight plan here, but this is a direct flight plan. I'm going to set up an ILF flight plan. For that, we're going to use the IFR, low altitude pathway. We're going to have to change the plane to, I want to use my Cessna. I don't want to use a fighter jet, Skyhawk. So I think it's best for you to learn one plane thoroughly so that you learn all the controls. Now we're going to go to approach 8, ILS 8 left. Now we have a different flight path altogether. All right, so let us start with this flight plan. How has your day been? You know, I found this Microsoft Flight Sim to be a great stress reliever, but at the same time, you got to spend hundreds of hours to learn this in order to get some nice experience flying. That's why this is one of the things that I found, that speeding up the cruise distance in the shortest period of time, then get to the real meat of a flight sim, which is taking off and landing. That's where we're going to be focusing, and also focusing on the glass cockpit, all the controls, how to adjust them. Most people think, you know, hardware is the most important thing. As far as I'm concerned, it is this software between your two earpieces and learning how to use all those controls on your glass cockpit, because it is all computerized. If you try to fly a plane manually, it's going to come down, but not the way you want it. All right, let's see. I may have to change it because this is night here in Houston, but let's see if we can change this weather to something really nice and pleasant here. All right. Oh, snow. I don't want a snow. I don't know why it defaults to snow. If it defaults to snow, you just click at the top the weather and say clear skies. Okay, now we have a much clear skies here in southwest part of Houston. Okay, I want you to pay attention to this particular navigation map, because this is our flight path to the Houston Intercontinental Airport. But I want to speed up this route until we get to the Localizer 1 frequency. And once it's done, there also we can speed up until we get to like 3-4 miles from the airport or 5 miles from the airport, then start working on the controls. That's my aim. Let's see how it goes. Okay, once we hear control 1, we'll bring up this one. There are a few things I need to set up for this particular one. The frequency for this is the localizer frequency for that is 109.90. That you get from air nav charts. So let's put this one here. So this is 352. So we can press our heading. So that will. After that, we need to set this one to Localizer 1 frequency of 8 means it's close to 8. So we're going to go to 88 degrees. let's go the other way. So it's almost going east. As you can see, it is almost going east, like 90 degrees. So it's 88 degrees. Let's see what we had. What is it? Why is it going the altitude? So that's my cruising, course angle, which is 88. Okay, that's 88 is good. That is set there. Right now we are supposed to be not heading, rolling. Once we get off the ground, we set to heading and navigation. So it's going to follow the navigational path. Then we are going to test the sim speed rate. Let's see what else I need to do. This should be good enough for right now. Let's press Control 1 to get back where we were. Oh, the weather cleared here. Why, that's pretty good. We are lucky. So what we need to do is make sure our throttle is 0, and we're going to increase the throttle, and I'm going to release the brake. I am using Logitech 3D Extreme Pro. I'm going to be pressing button 11, which is going to release the parking brake. So let's go with the speed here. Throttle, full throttle, and when it gets to be like 60 miles, we're going to roll. All right, it's already like 40, 50. Now it's coming up on 60 miles. So I'm focusing on the monitor here. So I'm just going to lift off maybe 5 to 7 degrees. Previously I used to kind of pull the yoke like crazy, and it used to kind of stall. So right now I'm keeping this one. As soon as it reaches about 900,000 feet, I'm going to put it on autopilot, then use the heading and navigation. After that, we are going to test this one. So while you are here, I'm going to come back here to this one. I want to set the autopilot here, and I want to set the altitude to like 2800 is fine. We want to set the vertical speed to be like 500 feet, 600 feet. Now we are on autopilot. Okay, let's see here. Once I'm on autopilot, it is stabilized. So I'm going to get back here and show one more thing. And this is, I'm going to press the heading, so it will follow this line. Then press navigation. Right now it's maintaining the speed. It's increasing the altitude, and it is on autopilot. Here's the autopilot. The vertical speed is 600 feet per minute. And now it should be on GPS. See, if you do a mistake, you should always pay attention to what's going on. When I saw that Vivo R1, that's the localizer frequency, and I am not ready for that. Right now we are just flying here at this angle. This is 360, so this is somewhere around like 320 degrees. So it's trying to make a turn and get back on path. So this is reaching the altitude. While it is reaching the altitude, let's go outside and test our controls. Remember, the control for increasing the sim speed is Alt or like Robert and minus on the numeric keypad. So that is to decrease. To increase the speed of the plane, we press Alt or plus sign on the numeric keypad. So let us see if we can try that one. I'm pressing the Alt or, and I'm pressing once, twice. See, it's speeding up now 3 times. I have to remember how many times I pressed it. As you can see, now it is moving pretty quickly, and once I get to this point, see, in this way you can minimize the time it takes. Otherwise it will take me 20 minutes to do one ILS landing practice. But if I can cut to 10 minutes or 12 minutes, then I'll be much better off, because it is following the path, and once it reaches this path. All right, let's listen to him and see what he wants. He wants. Okay.
NIK 20, please expedite your climb to 3,000 feet.
Okay, we are coming.
Contact Houston Center on
This is too much, it's going too crazy. Okay, see now it covered this distance in such a short period. Once it makes a turn, alright, so it's making a turn. So what I would like to do is, I had to cut down this ATC. See, it's speeded up. So what I would like to do is hold Alt R. I pressed it 3 times, so I'm going to go back pressing the minus key now. Minus key 1. So that I still have to press 2. I had to remember how many times I pressed it. See, it is 4 times faster because 2 plus 2, 3 times faster. So I have to cut down. See, now it's already approaching. When it is on this, I'm going to cut this one all the way to our regular speed. 2 more. Okay, I got 1 more to cut. So let's get inside. And when it is on this gliding path, I can automatically switch this to the Vivo OR, and the localizer will. It's not ready yet, so we'll just keep up with the GPS. So we just go back to. So I had to wait till I think the localizer comes to somewhere here active. So it's quite a distance from right now. So if you look at here, we are on track, 3,000 feet and 9 miles from the Intercontinental Airport. So let us see if we can get in here, and before that I like to press R 1 more time. So I had to be in this screen, Alt R minus. So now I am in the regular speed. When I am in the regular speed, I'm going to go back to here, and let's see. Oh, I didn't change this one. I thought it changed this one. So that should be changed now. Let's see if we press the Vivo or localizer and we say approach. I don't see that arrow here for some reason. Altitude is fine. Why is this? Oh, here, glide path. It's not showing up here for some reason, and I'm not seeing this one. So 109.10. It may be 115 navigation, I guess. Okay, IBZU. So it picked up the navigation, and now it's lined up with the navigational frequency of 111.55. So even though I made a mistake, it told me that this is the frequency you're looking for. Isn't it smart? So now let's see what we're going to have to do here. So we are getting 6 miles. So I need to cut the altitude to approximately 2,000 feet. That's good, and reduce the vertical speed by 500 feet. As you can see, the green diamond is going to start coming, and we are in perfect line with the localizer 1. It says 86 degrees. Ours was 88 degrees, 2 degrees off, but we should be able to land on the runway. I need to reduce the speed. Now see, that's why I said we need to speed up in the initial part where you don't do any changes in the settings. Now my speed is high. I have to reduce the throttle. I'm cutting down the throttle here. As I cut down the throttle, the speed should come down, because we are only 5.6 nautical miles from Houston Intercontinental Airport. So I really bring it down to like 110, and let's see here. That's good, 110. As you can see, we are making pretty good progress here, and the good part is the localizer has picked up the frequency. It is perfectly aligned, 86, 87, 88 degrees. We are using the localizer. It is still on autopilot. We are climbing down to 1,600 feet or 2000, we can come down. Yeah, when we come down to flips, I think I have to come down to 1600 feet. So that's where I can focus on what I need to do inside the flight. So let's see, we are getting close to the airport, and I think we need to be coming down with the altitude further down. Reduce this to 1600. That's good. And we can go down some more here if we have to. Oh, these buttons don't line up somehow. Needs to come down pretty quickly. Let's see here. Okay, and there we are. Now it's coming down 2100. We go down to 1600 by the time we get here. So we are on the path, and we are on the normal speed here. The two purposes of this presentation were to show how to speed up your cruise distance here, then spend most of the time on your glass cockpit and how to pay attention to all these controls here. Okay, so flips 085. So we are right on track, just 1 degree off. Our speed is pretty good. Our altitude is coming down, and we are 3.4 nautical miles from Houston Intercontinental Airport. This is our runway frequency, and we should be ready to, the localizer frequency will take over from here, and it will automatically reduce the altitude and everything else. So we just have to sit. That's why I said we need to be focusing on electronic controls. Hardwares are important, but I think electronic controls and watching hundreds of videos and how other people are doing it helps a great deal. Most of the big planes like Airbus or Boeing 747 or 737, they are all flown by computers, but the people should know how to use those computers. So that's what I think we should be focusing. All right, so we are getting close here. Now only 2.4 nautical miles. Flips and then Jason, then it will be the runway. So we see it is already, the localizer frequency has taken, ILS has already taken over the altitude, and all we had to do is deal with the speed. That's, and the flaps. So the flaps are full flaps now. We're going to keep it that way. Let's see if we can. Okay.
20, you are 12 miles west of Houston.
12 miles.
Contact Houston Tower on 125.3.
So it says, oh, okay, 11 nautical miles. So we will keep at this level. We don't want to change.
125.35 NIK 20.
Okay, NIK 20.
Tower NIK 20.
12 miles.
2 miles west inbound ILS runway 8 left approach.
All right.
0 Houston Tower. Cleared ILS runway 8 left approach.
Okay, that's good.
Altimeter 29.992 wind 267 at tree.
29.992. 29.9.
ILS runway 8 left approach NIK 20.
10 miles. We are going at 100 miles, so it should take us about like 5 minutes or 6 minutes to. Well, okay, 1. All right, let's go outside and see. We are 10 miles. We are 1600 feet. We are too far. What we need to do is we need to give a little speed because we still have 10 miles. Runway. Somehow, let's go up on this one. And we can actually, we'll just leave it there at 1600 feet for right now. Why I get to see all these little Lego blocks looking like buildings. And here is the runway. All right, now we got, this is the one just before the last one. Should be all right. Let's look at our cockpit inside here. So it's maintained. See, this altitude is different from the altitude we are seeing here 1400 feet, because Houston Airport is about 80 to 100 feet above sea level. So you have to take that 100 feet into consideration, because when you land, you don't run short of the runway if you're aiming for the altitude here. So that's why we have to be paying attention in so many multiple areas, so that we do what is needed to land safely and walk home or walk to the car. All right, so we got to speed it up a little bit. 8 miles. So what I'm going to do is, let's try our sim rate again. Alt, press R and number 1. 1 time, 2 times. See if it works. Yeah, it speeded up. How about that? See, now even when we are on ILS frequency, we are trying to speed up this process. You have to remember, I pressed twice, so I had to reverse it by a factor of 2. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to press R minus 1 minus 2. So I'm back to normal speed. So I'm only 6 miles, which means it will probably take us like 3 minutes or so at this time. So let's get ready to do the landing preparation. Reduce the throttle, keep the speed at 110 nautical miles. I don't know why this is showing this, because inside it is steady set at 1600 feet, and this diamond will start moving once we get closer. So as you can see, it should start moving pretty soon, and the altitude will start coming down. It's still 5.8 nautical miles, so that's still some distance. So we tested the sim speed rate twice, and it worked pretty good, which is a good progress for me, and hope you have learned something from this exercise. We are 5 miles, and let's see what happens here. Our speed is a little bit low. I'll just keep it like a 110. Some people will drop the flaps at this time when you get to 16, but we are still like 5 miles from the airport, so I'll give a little more speed here. Okay, so now this is better. So it's 4 miles runways, and this should start. Okay, the diamond already started moving, as you can see. I don't know if you can see it here. See, the diamond has moved, the green diamond. That means we are right on track. Now it is starting to descend automatically by the ILS instructions. Okay, now we need to reduce the speed. There are a couple of things we need to do. We need to cut this. Oh, all right, so we need to cut the speed down, put the flaps 1. All right, let's cut the speed. Okay, you need to, oh, shut up. I need to reduce the speed. We are just, hey, this is nonsense. Let's reduce the speed, throttle. Oh gosh, that's too much. I have to reduce the flap, so I'll put flaps down, because we are just 3 miles. Flap down twice, 2 level. So it's going to cut the speed. I'm going to make sure you keep it around like 90 until we are about a mile or so. So we don't run short of the runway. If we do 1,000 feet, it's I'll go up on the flaps here, because as flaps are down 900 feet. We still have reduced the flap. So give some more speed. 900 feet. Okay, so now I think we can reduce the speed a little bit to 80 miles. Bring the flaps down to 2. Reduce the speed to 80 miles. We are 800 feet. That's good. All right, 80 miles, that's pretty good. flaps level 2, and here is the approach. 700 feet, 85 miles is good. As we get close to the runway, we're going to drop the flaps to number 3. You still have 2 miles to go, so I don't want to do it too quickly and then run short of the runway. It's 77, so I had to go up a little bit, keep it at 80 miles, because the runway is so big for this plane. You're better off to be on the runway before you do all the final stuff. Okay, that's pretty good. 80 miles. We are 600 feet. Keep up, and once I get to this level, I will drop the flaps all the way. Okay, let's look from inside here. That's good. So what we'll do is we're going to have to drop the flap here. Main thing, flap is down. So that flap is down, so I'm fine. Okay, so only thing I need to do is the autopilot off. Once it, I'm going to drop the throttle all the way now. Again, I don't want to run short of runway here. We still have 700 feet, which is fine. 70 miles, which is fine, and we are, it looks like we are in the center here. We are 600 feet still. All right, so I'd rather cross some more before I drop it. There's the freeway, there's a little truck or something going there. All right, so 600 feet, 70 miles, which is fine. Flaps are down, level 3. Oh, there's another road here. That must be inside the airport. Yes. So I'm going to do is I'm going to have to disconnect the autopilot, but 68 miles, which is fine. I would like to, main thing I need to do is drop this throttle to 0 and then take the autopilot off. Okay, so I think we are in a safe zone. I think I'm going to drop the throttle all the way down. Now we are just close. I just have to remove the autopilot. I'm going to just take off the autopilot here once it approaches. That's pretty good. All right, we're just a little bit short of runway, 300 feet. We're still 300 feet, maybe 100 feet above the ground. There you go, autopilot off. And I'll just lift the nose up a little bit, then it should be okay. Oh. See, that's why I keep telling that it's better to be a few feet inside the runway than to, I think we're almost about to hit those poles. All right, ladies and gentlemen, at least a couple of things we learned: how to program the ILS frequency and the GPS and the IFL. We also learned how to speed up the sim or slow down the sim. I hope it has been useful to you. Thank you so much for watching, and please do subscribe to our YouTube channel.